Hey, it's Elliot. How are you?
Hi, Elliot. I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. You can't be good. You're talking to me. That means something's wrong, right?
Yeah, but it's just guy stuff. Everything else is good. So,
That's very true. It's just guys. So what's the issue?
okay. So I'm talking to two guys, and I kind of just want you to tell me if either one of them is actually worth my time or probably not.
Okay, give me the
Um,
stories. I like that.
okay. So the first one, I've only been out with him two times, so it's kind of hard to tell. Um, but um, so we went out two times, and you could definitely tell that his interest levels were high. Um, and I do have your course, and you had mentioned, make sure that interest is not going up too high because then it falls down really fast.
Yep.
So I did kind of try to, slow his roll a little bit.
Yep.
So, everything was going really, really well. And then my mom came to visit, and she, I'm only going to see her 1 month out of the year. So I'm going to spend this time with her.
Of course. Yep.
So I have not seen him, and I noticed that the first week that she was here, I told him, we can still text and everything. I just can't, go out. Um, so she got here first week, everything seemed okay. And then last week, I noticed that there was definitely a change in texting patterns,
So let
and
me let me interrupt you real fast. So how long until has it been since you've seen him? Not now, but like in this scenario, like at that time.
at the time, okay, so I saw him, the last time that I saw him was on the 3rd. And then at the time that I noticed, like that was just last week that I noticed that texting habits are changing.
Okay.
So I noticed that. Um, and it was also kind of strange because, I mean, obviously most people are probably seeing, somebody else as well. I mean, so
Of
am I.
course.
So, I
Yeah.
can't be pissed.
How far do you live from
Um,
him?
Maybe like 30 minutes or so.
Okay.
So it's a drive, but it's not,
Yeah.
the most horrible drive ever.
Is there an age gap?
Um, no, I mean, yeah, I mean, he's maybe a couple years older than me, but that's about
Oh,
it.
that's not an age gap. Okay, good.
Um, so the other thing that I don't know about him is, he was divorced and he was married for like 12 years, and I don't know how far out we are from that. I know we're at least 9 months out for certain, but I don't know
Under
how
a,
far
under
out.
a year though, you think?
It's really hard to tell if it's under a year or not. And I'm kind of looking at it going, 12 years is a long time. It might need more than 1 year to, kind of do whatever he's going to do,
Exactly. Yes, that's why I asked
you
that year the
know?
question. Yep.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess that I could just straight up ask him and be like, how long has it been?
Yeah. Well, I
Um,
wouldn't ask that now if you haven't talked to him since the third.
no, no,
Or
no. I
oh,
haven't
sorry. The
seen him
yeah,
since
yeah.
the
Seen,
third.
but you have the texting habits changed in the last week.
Yeah, I've been texting him since the third, and the texting habits changed last week. That's when I noticed that it
What do
changed.
they look like?
So he used to he would always text me like good morning and that kind of shit. And he would try to keep me on text. He would call, he would try to keep me on the phone. Um and then last week, basically he stopped texting good morning. He only texted good morning on the day that we were supposed to see each other, which that fell through. And it was kind of due to my work situation,
Okay.
so it is what it is.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, he kind of stopped initiating the text. Now he still texts back super fast, and he was still willing to drive out here to see me, still willing to take me out. Um,
When's the
but
last time you guys text?
it was on Thursday because he went on a trip Friday.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that that trip's with another girl too.
Why you say that? Sorry, if you hear me typing,
Uh,
I'm writing down notes.
that's fine.
Okay.
Um, so, I think that it's with another girl because, you don't just go on a vacation by yourself, like what he said. So that was a lie. And then he came back and he's like, oh, I should be able to text you while I'm there, but, I'm going with friends and they pretty much are making the plans. I'm like, oh, okay, now you're going with friends, huh? So I'm like, okay, yeah, he's going with another girl.
Fuck yeah, he is. Hey, you know what? You're smarter than 90% of the fucking women I talk to. I like that because that's true. It's true. They try to justify it. It's because they have a like bias, and they'll be like, "No, this guy seems like a genuine guy. I don't think he would do that." Fuck yeah, he would. Listen, if he's only
Wait,
seen
there are genuine guys?
yeah, I know, right? If he's only seen you twice and he hasn't seen you in a bit, and the texting, well, I guess you said they changed within the last week. And you're right. You don't go on a trip alone, and then now you're going with your homies. Maybe he's going with some guys, but there's someone there. There's someone specific there.
Yeah, he ain't going with no guys.
Yeah, you're right.
Guys
you're
don't
right.
just take a vacation with dudes. No, girls do that, but guys don't do that.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, I'm pretty sure that he is with a girl on that trip, and that's fine. I'm talking to another dude too, so whatever. Yeah. We've been on 2 dates. It's not like
Exactly.
whatever. But he told me about that trip. Maybe my mom came on, I want to say the 7th, and he told me about that trip on like the 9th or something, just like a couple days later.
Yep.
So, and I don't think that, I kind of imagine that he recently met that girl too, because I don't think he was talking to anybody before she came here. But then another thing that I noticed, and this is a little bit more concerning, and kind of the reason why I'm thinking maybe I should just tell him, no. And that is, he had a profile on a dating website, and I noticed that last week he took it down.
Oh, okay.
So I'm and before that he was active on it, so I know he was using it. But I'm kind of wondering if maybe whoever she is, asked him to be exclusive, and he said yes, and then he did not stop talking to me or making plans with me. And if that's going on, that's not cool.
But yeah, that might be true. But I think we're making a lot. You might be right, but I think the assumptions are strong now because the way I would look at it is, let's say she's my client, and let's flip the flip the switch. A lot of guys will not. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I've seen it, but it's like, okay, I meet this girl. I only seen her a handful of times. And I'm already going on trips with her, and I'm taking down my profile. Like she better have some good ass fucking sugar walls. She better be hot as fuck, because that's a big leap. And again, I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but I have so many clients. Like in your situation, like let's say you're her or vice versa. Like just flip the gun. Like that's really fast. That's really fast.
Super fast.
So I don't
know.
know.
But shit happens. Dudes
That's true.
do that shit.
That's true. But it's not. I always say, I'm not saying they're in love, but love is stable. I always say, like, if he's moving that fast to where he was super active on it, he met her, she said, take that shit off, and they only met a handful of times, and then he's done talking to all these other women, you, for example, and he's going on these trips with her. Like, I don't know, man, that's fast. I don't know if all that's happening.
Okay, that does make sense, because you're right, that's fast. And he was planning to see me. What?
She ain't that fucking special. Maybe she is. I don't know. That's intense.
Who knows?
Yeah.
I would only give him an 8 or a 9, but
Only an 8 or a 9. He's hot.
You know what? So he has a really good look. I don't know. He could be, depending upon whose eyes.
Women stutter. He's hot. Okay, he's hot.
He's not that hot. Okay, he's not that hot. He's definitely not the hottest guy I've ever been with. So,
okay.
So he's not that hot, but he is, hot. I would say, somewhere between a 7 and a 9, depending upon, who's looking at him and, how much they like him.
A 7's really high, and a 9 is like, I get to pick, from the litter.
Yeah, he's not a 9. He's not a 9.
Okay, we'll say he's an 8.
because I've seen some of the girls that he's dated, and you know,
Yeah, but
he'll have the best one if he gets me.
yeah, but dating these girls and committing to them are two completely different things.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a goofy looking motherfucker, but I mean,
No, you're not.
oh, so shucks. But I mean, I'll pull. I again, even if there's a girl who I hate to objectify women like this, but I speak about men and women, but in terms of numbers, like, yeah, you'll talk to someone maybe lower, but you're not going to commit to them. But why not? They still, I mean, maybe you want something more physical, or maybe they're just fun to be around. They have a good personality. I mean, you're still going to want these people around. But the reason I'm emphasizing the concept of his looks so much is because how old is he? First off.
He is, what is he? He's 36.
Okay, that's different. I was like, I was gonna say if he's in his 20s, I mean, that's still not, that's older. But I was gonna say if you're a hot guy and you're in your 20s or whatever, but let's say you're a hot guy, that really makes me second guess that he's moving really fast with this one. I mean, I'm not saying it's not, but if you're a really hot guy, and again, I know he's not. I guess we're saying he's a 7 or 8, but like, you can have your pick of the litter. He's not just going to throw all this shit away for this one girl. Maybe he does, it happens, but if you're a good looking dude and you have options, you're not just gonna throw you to the side, go to wherever with this girl, take down your dating or dating profile because she said so. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and I did ask, pretty much everybody, and everybody's like, yeah, you're the hotter party than he is. So
okay. Okay.
So yeah, that's going on. I'm just kind of like looking at it going, is this worth my time or not? He was trying to get with me the day before he was going on this trip. So whoever she is, she's obviously not that special.
Did you guys hook up?
No, it turned out that, my work kind of got in the way. Something happened with my work, and then, he was like, hey, my kids want to see me, and, I was like, okay, I got this work thing going on. It just doesn't seem to be happening today.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, we could still see each other for like 2 or 3 hours. And I was like,
yeah, I know what the fuck that means.
What?
I know what that means. He's trying to get
it in.
What
does that mean?
He's trying to get it in.
Oh, well, we haven't done that.
No, I know, but that doesn't mean that he wouldn't try there. Why wouldn't he?
Oh yeah, of course. He guys are gonna try. They're gonna try.
Yeah.
But he also knows. I already told him I was like, I'm not gonna fuck you on the 3rd date. So.
Okay. Yeah.
So he kind of knows he's not going to.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe not. You're right. Yeah.
But who knows? A lot of people are cocky and they think that they might.
Well, that's why that's why I'm being cynical about it. I know people would be like, Elliot, give it a chance. You don't know, but it's just context. If you're a good-looking dude and you know that your looks and you're attractive yourself, is what you're saying. So why, as an attractive guy, would I not? Who had success with women and have options, and it works better for me. Maybe he has a little game, or again, just he's just a chill, good guy. Like, why not try it? Especially if you're an attractive girl, it just makes logical sense.
Yeah. You guys are gonna try.
Exactly.
Like, that's just, it is what it is. Guys are gonna try. They're gonna try on the first date.
Especially when you're a guy like him. Yeah, it's true. Like him, who it probably works, from time to time.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, he's good looking, but sometimes when you like somebody, you think that they're a little bit more good looking than they actually are. So I would, my friends are saying he's, a 6 to a 9. So I think he's
a
more
6
like
is a big
7
jump.
to a
I'm
9.
a 6. I'm a 6. That's a big jump.
Okay, so I would say he's about as attractive as you are.
Damn. Okay, he's hot. He's hot as hell. Okay, go ahead though.
So, I'm kind of wondering why you think, I definitely think that, when you list reasons why attraction goes down and momentum stops, you listed, distance, so that's happening right now.
Yeah. Well, you only seen him 2 times. You don't even have the momentum. People think
there
it's
is momentum.
No, there's not. You only see him 2 times. I know that doesn't mean. I know what you mean by that. Where it's like, well, yeah, but he was initiating. He was doing this. He was doing that. Yeah, but that's like that's like again, it's not. Oh, think of it more as like a spark or an ignite. Not momentum. Momentum is where you have consistency behind it. You're pushing it up the hill, and now it's going downhill. It's effortless. This is just the spark, because this is like, think of the spark as like, again, if you're an attractive woman and let's say he's looks like me and you're hot. Well, yeah, I'm gonna be making efforts. Like, I'm going to be trying. I'm going to be blowing up your shit. I'm going to be doing this. Of course I am. But what women don't understand is, like, with momentum, there has to be consistency. And if I only seen you twice, and then there's gaps between it, and let's say maybe there's another woman in the picture who's also entertaining the idea, who maybe lives closer to me, and things like that, it will die off. It just does. Like, you don't have the what I call the real estate yet, in his life, for him to be like, oh fuck, I wonder what she's doing, or continue to blow up your shit, or try to see you. You don't have enough momentum. You had the spark, which is why it was as strong and intense as what it was, but not the momentum, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that does make sense.
Okay.
So, do you feel like I should go on the next date with him, or I should ghost the shit out of him?
I think you should go on the date.
Go on the date.
Yes. And
do you think like there's a chance that maybe it could?
Well, the reason I say it is, a lot of women may not agree with me on this, and I always say a guy who truly likes you doesn't put himself in a position to lose you. But I'm a man
and he
myself.
Hasn't done that.
Yeah. I would say he has done that, because he's not blowing up your shit. Yeah. Oh, is that what you said? Sorry. You said
Wait, what?
You said he did do that?
So he is okay. So this last week, the main thing that I noticed that was changing is that he wasn't initiating as the texting, but as soon as I texted, he texted back like bam within that same second.
Well, that's okay. So I mean, that's what I'm trying to get at. Like, what I'm trying to say is, or the reason I'm telling you to do it is, I'm a man. I like to look at it from the man's perspective too, and I it's like, well, what do you expect? Like, women expect guys to like roll out the red fucking carpet. No, that's not gonna fucking happen. I have to like you, and I have to be like, you're a bomb ass chick, and so you're not gonna get that on 2 dates with gaps in between, big gaps in between. You're not going to get that. Maybe on date 3, 4, 5, 6, and again, the momentum starts. Okay, well, now I really like you. We have some substance. I don't see you as just like, hey, this fine girl. It's like, hey, she's actually cool. We actually like the same things. She's fun to be around. Her personality. You can't tell everything about a person in 1 to 2 dates with the gaps in between. That's why I want you to at least give him the benefit of the doubt. Hey, maybe he's a piece of shit. Maybe he's just trying to get laid. Maybe he's, whatever. But it's not like you're going to sleep with him. I know you're not. You're not going to sleep with him on the next time you see him. So So why not just go out, have him court you, and just see where it goes? And I always say you get more intel by doing, right? So women will always sit back and be like, oh, I'm not going to text him first, stuff like that. But it's like, well, why not? If you text him first, and let's say he doesn't respond, or it's very low effort or low energy, well, you have more intel. Now you can adapt your plan and be like, okay, this guy isn't really that interested. I'm pulling back. I don't give a shit anymore. This is kind of the same thing. If you try to see him, let's say he's making excuses or doesn't do it, or well, then you have your answer. But if he does, and you go on this date and you're having a good time, and you don't sleep with him, but then he continues to blow your shit up after, because you got, it's like, okay, well, let's run with this.
Okay.
So I would do it.
Me.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's easy to convince someone when it's like, well, I'm talking to this guy, let's see what happens. But I don't. Again, I'm not saying this guy's a good guy. I'm not saying he's a bad guy. I don't know. You'll have been on 2 dates, but I'm just speaking from the perspective where I'm not trying to, again, this is going to sound horrible, I'm not trying to put the woman on the pedestal, like women think guys should. It's like, yeah, it's like, girl, I only seen you twice, let's go on another one, and let's see what happens. And if it's great, then run with it. Like I said, I know you're not going to put out. I know he's not going to get what he wants, but let's see if he actually likes you for you, like we're going out, we're hanging out, we're having fun. And if there's momentum there, let's run with it.
Okay, so you do think that it's not that situation where interest is going down and there's just no way that you can get it to go back up? it's not that situation.
Well, I
Probably.
do think interest is going down to an extent because it's attraction's momentum based. So you don't have the momentum. But to answer your question, no, I don't think it's like 6 feet deep in mud, the wheels are turning and you can't get out. No, absolutely not yet. I think you should go on this one more date to see if that the case.
Okay. Okay, yeah, because I mean, basically, the only thing that I noticed that's different is that he's not initiating text like he was
No,
anymore,
no,
but he
no,
does
no,
answer
that's
text super
right. But
fast.
as a guy, I mean, I try to. That's why I said the momentum is dying. But that's not you. That's just normal. Like I've only seen you twice, and I haven't seen you since the third. I wouldn't even be blowing your shit up right now. I haven't seen you in
Okay,
almost a month.
true.
Well, 20 days. Yeah.
Yeah, almost a month. Um, so yeah, that happened. And what was the other thing that I was going to say about that situation? Um, yeah, what was it? Shit. Um, yeah, I don't really
That's right.
remember,
Well, you had
but
another guy in the pic. You said
yeah,
there's
I
two
have.
guys.
Yeah, there's two. So the other one, I've seen him about 6 times now,
Okay.
and I feel like we're not making the connection that we should be making.
Okay.
Um, and he keeps pursuing me. He does keep, asking to see me.
You
Um,
guys hooked up?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. But I was kind of thinking about it, maybe the next time,
Well,
maybe,
hold on. Why? You said you just told me no. You're not really building a connection.
Yeah, I'm not. And, it's not, I don't think that, it's anything that's wrong. I think that he's a very shy,
Oh,
reserved
okay, okay,
person.
yeah, I got that. No, I understand. Yeah.
And he even, before we ever met, he told me, he's like, the biggest thing about meeting you that I'm nervous about is that you won't like me and you'll just walk out and not say anything.
Guy sounds like
And I was
a
like, I don't think
bitch.
that's going to happen. I'm not, a total cunt.
Yeah. I don't
Um,
blame you if he sounds like that. If he says that shit, man, that already leaves me kind of like not worried, but like listen, a man in his masculine is a provider, a protector, a satisfier. It's something bigger than him. He's more of a asset to his community, family, loved ones, things. When you say that kind of shit, I automatically assume insecurities. With insecurities, people try to fill voids. And then there tends to go, maybe you don't see it yet because his back's not against the wall, the pressure's not there. But then you'll see like deceiving and love bombing, and maybe a change in pace, or the context gets so serious where he feels pressure and pulls away, and stuff like that.
So when he did say that comment, I didn't really mention the context of it.
Okay.
We were talking about, how our thought processes work. And he was saying, when I think about things, I tend to overthink things. And then, I go to the worst possible scenario, for instance.
I still think that counts with what I say.
Still counts. Okay.
Yeah, I would never say that to
Okay.
you. Like I would never say that to a woman. I'm not saying it's
No.
not okay for a guy to be vulnerable. It is, and I like that it's a judge-free zone with you guys. I mean, that's great, but you don't go in there, and I don't know, man. It's almost like going there knowing you're gonna lose, type of thing. Like you're about to go up for a match and you lost. Like you're about to go out and box somebody and you already lost. Like you can't have that mental. You can't, man. I'm not saying he's not human. It doesn't I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm not trying to be one of these people who are like suppress men's feelings and shit like that. But I mean, he has. I don't know. Because it sounds like I'm in the wrong here, but I feel like you got to go in there with a winning mindset. Easier said than done, but you got to go in there with a winning mindset, man. You can't say I fear losing you, and that you're gonna fucking dip.
Yeah, he did say that. And the other thing there in that situation is he's probably, looks based only because he's very intelligent. But looks based only, I would say that he's probably a 5 versus I'm probably an 8.
Okay.
So, there's that gap there that does probably make a person kind of,
But
shaky.
I'm gonna say that just goes back to what I said. Okay, there is an insecurity. If you're an 8, this is called the mate value discrepancy. If you're an 8 and he's a 5, depending on who we're talking about, I'm not saying you're going to do these things, but like the reason like a higher number, like okay, if there's a higher number versus a lower number, well, the lower number has tactics to keep somebody around, right? So they might step up their game. They might do
Hmm.
like extra courting, extra investment in resources. They might be very, then there might be bad things, like they might be very protective, they might be very emotionally abusive, they might be very territorial.
Oh,
Yeah, things like that. I'm not saying he's doing that. These are just different tactics people use. This guy is probably the one who would probably invest more. It sounds like. And then there's things that the higher number would do. Because the job of the organism is to survive, right? And you want advantages. It's not advantageous for an 8 to go for a 5. Now you're talking in terms of looks. Maybe it
yeah,
averages.
looks only.
Yeah. I'm not talking in terms of look. I just mean like your mating value. Like money for him would be a different issue. His intelligence,
Exactly.
yeah, would raise it. But when a woman or a man is a higher number, they start to have like wandering eyes. They start to have like a second guess or second thoughts. They start to let other people, maybe not cheat, but court them. And then sometimes they do cheat. So the closer the numbers are, the more they feel like, okay, I'm getting, a good deal, or a good deal is what he's getting, but he wants to keep that, so he's going to try to find ways to bridge the gap. Where you might feel like eventually you get the raw end of the deal, so you might be second guessing it later on down the road. But anyway, what I'm trying to get at is that goes back to what I said about the insecurities. Well, yeah, I can see that now if he believes he's a 5. Not that a 5 is ugly. 5 is average, but if I don't know what his experience with women in past and cheated on or whatever, and then you come in here and you're attractive. Well, I can see him saying those things now.
Um, so the weird thing is, though, he isn't doing anything. Uh, he's not, trying really hard to impress me. He does keep asking me out, and we do keep seeing each other, but he's not. He's acting normal. He's acting normal.
What's that mean?
Um, he takes me out. We talk. We've definitely kissed a bunch of times. Um, but he and he told me from the very beginning. He's like, I think too much to be romantic. I'm not going to end up being romantic. And I was like, okay, whatever. I'm cool with that. I'm probably not romantic either. Um, but some of this there's Elliot. There's something not there.
Oh no, I know the intangible, right? Like you don't know what it is, but something missing. Well, that's true, but like I said, if you're talking to a dude who, like you said, you said it's nothing. You said at the very beginning, with him, when we start talking about him, you said it's not really a bad thing. It's just how he is. He's in the shell.
Yeah.
Yeah, afraid to open up. And then he just tells you that about the romantic thing, and there might be an insecurity. I can see this guy, because I used to do this. Not that I'm insecure, but just kind of very more routine, very like cookie cutter. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
That
yeah.
exactly.
So I think that's what
Yeah.
it is. I mean, I don't know how to. I mean, I'm talking to you, not him, so I don't know how to break him out of that. But that's what it is.
So do you think that it's worth it to keep seeing him, or do you think
That depends
that
on
he
your
just
feelings.
never? I don't know. I like him. He's very smart, and he's definitely like the protector type. He's even said that. And
Okay,
he
well,
is.
that's good. Good. Okay.
He is. He's definitely the protector provider type. He would be a complete alpha if he weren't quite as shy, but he's shy, which is kind of cute. I just wish he would open up a little bit more.
Did you ever talk to him about it?
Never, because we've only seen each other like 6 times, and I'm kind of like, do I want to even say that shit?
Well, you say that. I mean, I think you should. I think you should have a
Yeah,
talk. A talk. People grow through experiences. And through like shared moments. I think you should, even if it means losing him, like he freaks out over it or whatever. I still think you should. Number one. And number two, the reason I say that is I always tell women at 8 dates, you better start having the talk about like where this is going, ultimatum type of shit, because you're already on 6 dates, you know. So, I mean, if you're not even going to have a
Yeah.
talk where it's like, hey, let's open up, um, and get to know each other more, even if he doesn't, at least you're having the talk. Like, I'm not saying
True.
you have to sit there and he has to be like, yeah, let me become an open book, but just the defensive technique that he uses says a lot about a guy, or his
So
reasoning says a lot about him.
So there is one thing about him, and that is he said, I'm an open book. Whatever questions I ask him, he answers, and I think he answers them pretty, bluntly, pretty honestly.
Okay.
But I noticed that he's too shy to ask me questions,
Oh,
and
okay. I mean, I agree. Go ahead.
he will ask me, some things, but not to the level that most guys do. Most guys have a lot of questions, and
What does
he
he ask you? What do you
doesn't.
guys talk about?
Um, we were talking about, he got hurt and he was taking a hot shower, and I said, yeah, I use that for a lot of things when I'm not feeling, well, or whatever. And he asked, and I said, it's really good for you, if you have, sore muscles or whatever, blah blah blah. And he was just like, so what else do you use a hot shower for? And then he said, you don't have to say masturbating. And I said no, and I told him, I said sometimes if I just had a bad day, and I said, I know that sounds weird. He said, not weird at all. So he asks me kind of personal stuff, but then he doesn't. It's like one question per, 2 weeks.
I don't. I mean, I don't. I don't see a problem personally.
No.
I'm the same way. I mean, I'm the same way. I'm very closed off. Fucking women hate it. Well, you know how many people I would be talking to in my life where they would want to, hey, Elliot, you going to call me tonight? Fuck no, I ain't calling you. I just got off the phone with 15 clients. I ain't calling your ass. And they get upset about it all the time. I hate talking on the phone. And I'm not saying I'm afraid
And
of
it's your
like,
job.
yeah, it's true, but I'm not afraid of like opening up. I'm just not a big, you know, guy like this either. I mean, I'm definitely not the shy type, and I'm definitely not like in this shell. But I do have. I mean, I just think this is normal. What I'm trying to get at is I think this is normal. I think this is just how that guy is, and it's one of those things you got to accept or not. And again, I'm not saying it doesn't change. I'm not saying he can't open up, but it's not your job to change him either. You know. Like I don't see a problem with him.
You don't
No,
think
I
that
just
he
see
doesn't
it.
like me, or
Not if you've been on 6 dates, and yeah, I mean you've been on 6 dates. I mean, and
not
if
all of
you're
them were paid dates.
that's right, that's right. You're just 6 times, and you're
Yeah.
the more attractive one than he is. No, then I would say I would say it's going well.
Okay, so you think that there's not a
If
problem
you're
there?
being very accurate and honest with the fact that I'm not trying to make everything about looks, but if he's a 5 and you say universally a lot of people will kind of see him as a 5 and you're an 8 and you say universally a lot of people will see you as an 8 and he's been on 6 dates with you, not all paid, okay, that's fine. I don't think it would be right to justify, well, he doesn't like you because he's not asking questions. I would say, nah, that's just kind of how the guy is.
Okay,
And I think it
so
would just be a
everything is
mismatch
normal.
in
It's just different than what I'm used to.
that's what I'm trying to get at. It would be it's different dynamics, you know, a different match. It's not what you're used to. So, but that doesn't make it wrong.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. And for the most part, he does text me every day. I know that there are certain days that he just like doesn't text me because he sleeps all day. But for the most part, he texts me every day. So that's good. So I guess I'll keep seeing him too and just see if it pans out with either one of them. A question though, when I'm on the date with the first guy, what should I be doing and what should I not be doing? Because I did make one mistake, and that's what I forgot to tell you, is that I did a fuck up,
Okay.
and that is I had told him, maybe when my mom has been here for about 2 weeks or whatever, we'll see each other because, she can do one day or night by herself.
Yeah,
One time is not bad.
I agree.
But, and then he kept on asking, and, I had mentioned, something about he was, pushing me, to it. And he was like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean, I don't want to be that guy. And that's when he stopped asking. And that is also right before, it was the week before I noticed that change in the texting. So I may have been a little bit.
I don't think that's why it is. Be honest. Like
No.
guys, yeah, I
Okay.
always say guys just don't change like that. It's usually it's context. It's never just one thing. Especially when I'm the guy. Like especially when he was wanting to see you. You were just being like flexible. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't think that has anything to do with. I don't think that's
Okay,
an F
so
up.
don't worry about that.
Yeah, that's not an F up. But to
So what should I be focusing on that date, and when should I contact him?
well, is he back right now?
No, not yet.
When he comes back, maybe not right away, but I would say within the first week of him coming back.
But I'm supposed to see him on Friday, and he's coming back on Wednesday, Tuesday. Forget
Oh
which
no,
day.
if you're seeing this first guy this Friday.
Yeah, I'm supposed to see him this coming Friday.
Oh, then yeah, okay, that's fine. Then just do that. Just wait. I mean, just Thursday, text whenever. Confirm if you want to confirm Thursday, Friday, or him. I don't care. But if you're seeing him Friday, then just go on that date. And your job should be to be fucking pretty, to be fucking awesome, and to have fun. Hang out, have fun. Do not hook up. I mean, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. I think just have a good time. I know you're paying me a lot of money to give you the answer, but I just think you're no. I mean, I think
No, you're doing good.
yeah. I just think
You're doing great.
it's. I guess I want to flip it. It's not what you have to do. It's just kind of yours to lose. Like, why not just go on the date and have a good time? It's not like you have to. I don't think you have to do something in this instance to where you got to win this guy over or something. I think you should just go there, look good, and have a good time.
Okay.
That's all that matters.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. So what was the other thing that I'm going to ask you? So you said text him when he gets back.
Well, if he gets back, but I mean, it doesn't. I didn't know you're seeing him Friday. If you're seeing him Friday, text him whenever. I mean, it's whatever. If you're seeing him Friday, and if he's not going to pull, by the way, if he pulls some bullshit and he cancels, he's out. He's done. You're done with him. If not, then okay, great. You see him, see what happens. But the texting, I don't think it really matters. If you're seeing a Friday, yeah. Because my philosophy of texting is it's usually made to create real person interactions, like set it up or to fill in the gaps. But if he's out of fucking town and you guys already have a plan to see each other Friday, it's like, well, okay. I mean, it's just yours to lose now.
Okay. What if you were to say, like, can we make it Saturday instead?
That's fine.
Okay, so as long as he's, trying to
if
hook
it's a
up.
rain check, okay.
A rain check is okay, but if he's like, oh, no, sorry, I can't do it, then never.
I can't. Yeah, we'll plan something the other week, or we'll plan something another time. I'll get back to you. I promise. Say, okay, that's fine, and then you're fucking done with them.
Never talk to him.
Yeah,
never
you're
talk
done
to
with
him
them.
again. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Another thing. So this other dude, he kind of just ghosted on me, and then he comes back, of course.
This is not guy one or guy two.
Nope, different dude. He comes back I don't want to say like a month later, however long. And he's trying to text me, and I'm like, what do you want? And he's like, I want to see you, blah blah blah. And I was like, yeah, but you pretty much ghosted me. And he was like, I didn't ghost you. You texted once and I didn't text back. But it's not like you texted 2 times and I ignored you. And I was like, okay, you're right, but
He's right. Yeah, it's true.
And I was like, okay, so you're gonna see me, and then what do you want? If you really like me that much, you would have been texting me. You're not, you're whatever. And he's like, no, I want a relationship. And I was like, right now, you're gonna get into a relationship with me.
He's out.
And he was like, yeah.
He's out. Fuck this guy. This guy's whack as fuck.
Right?
He's bullshitting you. Yeah. You don't come out of no. Listen, he might be right about the ghosting thing. Right, because women do it just as much as men, and women blame men for not initiating. It's like, well, you don't initiate either. Oh yeah, but I'm supposed to be chased. No, you fucking suck. That's not a thing. That's not until both people agree on the courtship. Meaning, like, I started courting you, but if we're just texting and then he's ghosting you, and I always tell women, like, feelings just don't come out of nowhere. It's all attraction is momentum based. I say that so many times. Like, a guy just doesn't wake up one day and be like, oh yeah, I really like her. Let me want a relationship with her. No, the bigger driver is the assets. He wants to sleep with you. Like, a guy who truly likes you does not put himself in a position to lose you. He's not just going to come back and want a relationship. The driver, the thing that motivates him is the assets. And if he thinks he can get with you, or that's what he's going to try.
He's just saying whatever.
Yeah, he's just saying whatever.
I figured.
Yeah.
That's what I figured. Because, yeah, he ghosted kind of right after, I talked about, commitment and shit, so.
Yeah, exactly. He's not ready for it.
No, he's not ready for it. That's what I figured.
Nope.
So, hold on one second. Stop that. You are ruining my furniture. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, trust me. I have a cat that claws the shit out of the side of I'm going to whoop his little ass.
Yeah, that's exactly what was happening. I need to yell about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, I think you're probably right about everything, and I'm going to do what you say and see what happens.
Okay, I like that. I like that plan. What I was going to say is, I don't want to say this first guy is a fucking great guy or anything. I try to, or I'm not saying he's a bad guy either. I just want to play it very
You're saying we don't know.
Yeah, I want to play it very fair for both sides, because if he was my client, I'd be like, hey, maybe you could communicate better, homie. Like, girls love communication. They get fucking off to that shit. But I don't feel like you're obligated to, like, blow up her shit. You've only seen her twice. If it's not there, it's not there. But at the same time, if you're interested, then don't bullshit her. Go on the date with her, and let's see what happens. And you said you're seeing a Friday, so okay, cool. And for this other guy, I wouldn't take anything personal that he's doing. I think that's just how he is. You're 6 dates in, and if you're the more attractive one, and you guys get along for the most part, and he seems like a gentleman, and he's not trying anything. It's like, okay, well, cool. Then keep it going.
He's a definite gentleman.
Okay, well, then keep it going and see what happens. But like I said, you can only do that for so long before you're like, okay, let's get ready to, like, I'm gonna give him the ultimatum. We're gonna talk about this type of stuff. So get ready for that within the next several more dates, I think. But not even, just worry about. I mean, if you want to have the talk about opening up or something like that, do it. You don't get him to try to open up. Just try to get to understand him. That's sexier than trying to get a guy to do something that's not him. Try to understand why he's the way he is.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Because I mean, that would explain a lot if I just know why he's doing this.
Oh yeah,
and
people need clarity. People need clarity. They don't. There is no. Like, like I always say, our job as an organism is to survive and reproduce. There is nothing sexy in survival mode about, like, not knowing if a fucking lion's behind the bush. Like, your shit's gonna get gnawed up. Like, you're gonna get chewed up. Like, this is the same thing. Like, we do not like uncertainty. We do not like the unknown. We love the clarity. We love clarity so much. So at least having that talk, not to just change him, but to understand and appreciate him in the way he is. And again, it gives you clarity of mind. It's a win-win.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And the worst thing that could happen is, he freaks out and stops texting, but, things are not going super well as they are anyway. So,
Oh, well, yeah, I agree. I mean, like, worst case, if a guy changed, it's almost a blessing, because if a guy flips like that, it was going to happen anyway. I tell women that all the time.
Yeah, it's only a matter of time.
Yep.
Better sooner than later.
That's very true. Well, anything else?
No, I think that's it.
Okay, hey, I wish you the best of luck. I hope it works out with both of them, and you have a good one, okay?
You too. Thank you so much, Elliot.
Hey, you too. You have a good day. Bye-bye.
Okay, you too. Bye-bye.